I, F22, tend to procrastinate, but get things done, and that includes preparing for a flight. Yesterday was a fairly busy day for me, so it wasn't until August 9th that I actually got to start packing. In the end, everything, as in my hair, nails, outfit, necessities, was together by 2 a.m. I have to leave by 4:50 a.m. No worries though. A quick power nap before I leave and then I can just sleep on the plane. Morning comes around and I wake up at 4:33, could be worse. I somewhat frantically get myself together and head out the door. When I see my driver waiting outside, I said thank you and that it's not heavy at all, referring to my suitcase. It was light as a feather, but I packed light since it's a one-day trip, so it makes sense. I get to the airport, which is an hour away from my home, and have about an hour till boarding. I stand in the security line when a person who works there comes up to me and asks, "What airline are you flying with?" I thought it was a weird question to ask since no one has ever asked me that before, but I was groggy and said, "American." She said, "Okay, you'll have to check your bag." I took a slight pause, looked down, and finally registered what is by my side. Not only is it not my carry-on that I packed for this flight, but a big, empty suitcase that now needs to be checked in. To add some context in, both bags are essentially the same, just one is bigger than the other. I got ready in the dark and even managed to put my pants on inside out. Anyway, back to the story, I take 5 seconds before realizing that I won't have time to go back and get my actual luggage, so I go and get my empty bag checked. I somehow very quickly talk myself out of having a panic attack and just accept that this is what it is now. My heart is still racing and I still can't think too much about it since I'll just stress myself out. Now my trip just got more expensive. What brings me peace is knowing that I'm not the first person this has happened to, so I'll more or less be okay. I may be going to a state I've never been to, but it's still domestic. I kinda sorta have the funds to continue on with this trip, and I have a backpack with my essentials, so I'm not too out of luck. So now instead of going to my hotel and settling, I'll be frantically looking for stuff before the reason I went on this trip in the first place, a concert. I have about 2 to 4 hours, which should be reasonable, or at least that's what I keep telling myself. Oh, and did I mention this is my first solo trip? At least I have an interesting travel story. Edit, by one-day trip I meant I was staying there for one night. So it's actually a 2-day trip. TLDR, I grabbed an empty suitcase instead of my carry-on for my trip. Therefore now having to buy extra clothes, necessities, and paying for an unnecessary checked bag. Subscribe for more.